Hey y'all, welcome back to Adventuring with Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. In this video, I have some super random but hopefully helpful van life tips for you. I have compiled a list over the last couple of days as I've been hanging out around camp and thinking to myself, this is kind of a random van life thing, but it might be helpful to others. So some of them I may have shared before, others may be new. But at the end of this video, I want you to comment and let me know which tip you found to be most helpful. If you are new to my channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get into it. Let's say I want to leave camp, keep it set up, but I need to go into town. Okay, so like tomorrow, for example, I'm going to do that. But I want to keep my spot, I'm level, and I want to make sure that I perfectly line up where I was. So I use my rug to pull up on, right, as like my straight line. But then since I'm not using my boards as levelers, I have this board centered with the center of my hubcap. So I know that that's where the center of my hubcap needs to be. And I do that on both sides. But as you can see, I leave myself, 5 to 6 inches so I can pull up between them, but I know where to get centered. So super easy tip. Now you can put something else in place of those boards. Cones, Maddie uses a hammer, you can put a rock, anything like that, but that will help you get positioned to where you were at before you left your campsite. Something I talked about in a video yesterday was the use of collapsible items. So I pointed out some of my favorites. I forgot to include my retractable broom in the video, and this is really handy because it retracts down, so it's only like 15 inches long or so, and then I can put it in my rooftop box along with other collapsible items like my tables, Wynston's playpen, my rug is foldable. I guess that could even be collapsible. But taking advantage of collapsible items to save space, and I wanted to make sure that I included the retractable broom because it's very handy and I purchased it on Amazon. I made a video recently about my new sink invention, which is a just over 2-gallon bucket and a strainer. Both of these pieces are from the dollar store. So what's nice is that I can do my dishes, this catches solids, and then I can pour out the water from the bucket. I like to water trees with my dishwater, and then I can still, put dishes in here as well. So it's cheap, it's inexpensive, and then if you need to use the bucket for something else, you can. But this was literally under $3 for this sink contraption, and I've been loving it. So very fantastic, lots of different uses, and yeah, simple and easy. If you have a water jug for your shower water, but you don't have a solar bag, one way that you can warm up your water is simply with a black trash bag. Well, the wind isn't helping me at all right now, but, okay, well, you get the gist of it. Cover your jug with the black trash bag, wrap it around there tight, sit it out in the sun, and that will help warm up your water. Tapestries and even linens or sheets perhaps have a variety of uses. So I have this beautiful piece that I was gifted by Glenna at my meetup in January, and I use it for all sorts of stuff. I hang it on my van doors like as a shade. It helps keep dust out, plus it's really pretty. And you can even put them over like cloth furniture items that you might have in your van, because something like this is much easier to wash than something like this. So tapestries, sheets, blankets, linens, like I said, you can use them multi-purpose, curtains, covers, furniture protectors, all sorts of stuff, because then you can just throw them in the washer. I often get food that comes in like boxes or large packaging. For example, I got this Hormel snack pack earlier that came with crackers, but it came in like this massive plastic box. So take things out of the boxes, or containers before you put them into your fridge. I did the same thing with these yogurts. They came in like a square box. Take them out. That way you'll have a lot more room to pack your food in your fridge or cooler, and the packaging itself isn't taking up all the space. The same thing can be said for things like litter. So this is a cat litter bag, but I keep my pine pellets in it. So this is much smaller and lightweight. So things that come in, again, big packaging, whatever that may be. For me, it's these pine pellets that come in a 40-pound bag. Put it in a smaller container to save space, and it won't weigh nearly as much. To clean your solar panels, I recommend using a Swiffer duster or a rag with just a little bit of water. So I have some microfiber cloths, or just a regular washcloth like this will work. And what I like to do is I will oftentimes just wipe it down with a Swiffer duster because that's very effective, or I will just spray a little bit of water onto a washcloth, not directly onto the panel, and then simply wipe it off. Now, Maddie, on top of his van, he has solar, and they are not this type of material. He will use a squeegee, which works great as well if you have hard to reach solar panels. I cook bacon almost every morning, and I use leftover grease like to make my eggs. I don't use butter or anything like that, but to dispose of the grease, I simply pour it into an aluminum can, let it dry, then I can dispose of it. You can also use aluminum foil, and some people save their grease, but a can is a great way to dispose of grease properly. I have often spoken about this CD case where I organize all of my cords, but another van life tip is if you don't want to keep all of these cords, it's important to remember that a lot of them have the exact same connections. So electronics are fairly universal when it comes to charging. For example, the cord that's charging my Jesper right now is the exact same one that charges my small fan. So you can keep just a few cords on hand if you want, because it's likely that they will charge a majority of your electronics. To keep my van consistently clean of dust and pollen, I use these Swiffers. They are actually supposed to go on the bottom of a Swiffer, but I just use them to dust by hand. And these are actually the thick ones that are meant for pet hair. I buy them in bulk in about a 50 pack at Costco. It's way cheaper, but these are incredible for keeping my van clean. I wipe off my dashboard, my fridge, my electronics, pretty much everything with these. And yeah, they even clean up pollen. I mean, it's really, really insane how effective these are, and they're great for cleaning your solar panels as well. Much like bacon, I eat eggs every single day, so I buy them by the dozen. Instead of having to fit a carton of eggs in my fridge because I'm limited on space, what I do is I fill these containers. I have 2 of them. I fill them with 6 eggs, and then that way I can stack them and it saves on space. My mom actually got me these. These are takeout containers from Cafe Zupa's, but you can get like square Tupperware, and then I use paper towels or bags to make sure my eggs don't crack. So this is much more effective, saves on space, and my mom gave these to me after she ate out at Cafe Zupa's, so recycle, reduce, reuse. If you need to heat up water for your shower, a really simple way is to boil a pot, or in my case, a kettle. This is about a little over half a gallon of water. I add it to 2 gallons of colder water, and it makes my showers nice and warm. There's no need for anything fancy. You can just boil a pot of water and add it to your cold water. I want to also remind everybody that I have a very long product list in the description of every single one of my videos. It is an Amazon affiliate list, and anything that's in my van that I have purchased from Amazon is on the list for the most part. If it is no longer available on Amazon, of course it won't be there. There are very few things in my van that aren't from Amazon, so if you don't see it on the list, it's because it was not purchased on Amazon. But for the most part, a majority of what I use was purchased from there. So there is an updated and hopefully helpful list in the description. A couple of things that aren't on the list that I get questions about are like my back pillow, my orthopedic back pillow, that's no longer available. The metal shelf in my trunk, that's from Lowe's. So just a couple of things like that. But for the most part, everything else is on the list. So be sure to check that out. It is there so you can buy the same items that I have and I find useful. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Remember to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.